we are conducting this session to orient you about the National Education Policy, that is NEP 2020. This is an initiative by the Government of India to strengthen the national education policy through the national education policy to strengthen the education system to be with at par with all the other countries. Hence, the CBSE is planning to implement National Education Policy 2020 in its curriculum, and for that reason, we are conducting this session for you parents so that you all are aware about National Education Policy and how we here in St. John International School and the CBSE, how we are going to implement it in our regular curriculum. So what is the vision of NEP 2020? It is to develop an education system deeply rooted in Indian ethos, which has the capability to provide high quality education to compete in the global world. So our students will not be just competing in India, but they will be made ready to compete in the global world. And this curriculum and pedagogy must develop a sense of respect towards fundamental duties and Constitution of India and will have a deep bond with the country. Then it will also develop a sense of pride and respect for the country, and students will be responsible will have human rights and sustainable development, global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizens. Now, let me just tell you about what are the key principles of NEP 2020. It takes into consideration each and every stage of a student and also a holistic development of the student. Therefore, it includes respect for diversity and local context, equity and inclusion, community participation. It will make use of technology. It will emphasize conceptual understanding, and it will have unique capabilities like recognizing, identifying each student's capabilities. Then it will also give emphasis on critical thinking and creativity. And finally, it will monitor how the students are performing, and hence a continuous review of the programs and the students' performance will be held. Now, let me just tell you how it is different from the previous education system and how NEP 2020 is different. That's why if you see transforming curricular and pedagogical structure. The previous academic structure, if you see, had only 3 segments, wherein the pre-primary section was never a part of the schooling, whereas from the age of 6 to 16 there was a complete big strata, which was grade 1 to grade 10, and then ages 16 to 18 had a different strata, that senior secondary. But now if you see NEP 2020, there are around 4 stratas, wherein pre-primary section is also included in the schooling system. Then you have grade 1 to 3, which the ages are from 6 to 11. Then you have grade 6 to 8, and then you have grade 9 to 12. So 4 stratas. So it is, the namings are like fundamental stage, if we go from down: fundamental stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage. So fundamental stage, it is multi-level with various activities based teaching and play way method. Then the preparatory stage, which is grade 1, 2 and 3, there also it will be a play way method, more of discovery and activity based along with interactive classroom learning. Then middle stage, which is experiential learning, wherein you will have grade 6, 7 and 8. experiential learning in the sciences, mathematics, arts, social science, and humanities. And last, the secondary stage, that is from grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, it will have greater critical thinking, and it will be multidisciplinary study, wherein students will be incorporating one subject to the other. It will have more flexibility, and the students can take the subjects of their choice, which is already implemented if you see. Then, why is it required? Why do we need a sudden change? So basically, it is to the shift to competency based teaching, learning, and assessment, because right now most of the things were based on rote learning. But with NEP 2020, we are shifting the paradigm from competency based teaching, learning, and assessment. We are shifting from rote learning to competency based teaching, learning, and assessment. So if you see, it will promote critical and creative thinking. It will shift from the traditional approach to teaching learning to a more competency focused. Students will be tracked at various levels. Their progress will be tracked, and also there are various designs and tools and resources which is brought into for learning outcomes, because it is more going to be a learning outcome based rather than just a rote learning. Now, what are the salient features of the stages in school? Like I already explained, you will have 4 different stages: fundamental stage, preparatory stage, like that. So, fundamental stage, as I told you, it is the pre-primary stage. So, there you will have activity-based learning. So, it is more basically wherein we are incorporating ECCD and activity based teaching, and the focus will be on good behavior, courtesy, ethics, personal and public hygiene and cleanliness, and how children can be brought together in a teamwork, and how can we teach them cooperation. Then the second level is your preparatory stage, wherein from the playway activity method, we are slowly and gradually bringing them to a transition into the formal classroom teaching learning. Okay, so there you will have interactive teaching learning, and the children will be introduced to more subjects like physical education, arts, language, sciences, and mathematics, and the emphasis will more be on LSRW, that is the basis of any language: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Then you will have the third stage, which is the middle stage, wherein students from 6th to the 8th will have hands-on experience learning. They will do research and more of formal and free to do research kind of a work, and teaching learning process will happen. And the fourth one, as it is not mentioned here, you already know, grade 9 to the 12, they will have more flexibility in choosing the subject. Like it is not that if a student has taken up science, so he can only learn physics, chemistry, bio. No, there is a freedom to select more subjects, more vocational subjects, and more subject of their interest. Then how is the pedagogical structure going to be in NEP 2020? In the beginning, it is already discussed. It is competency-based education. Then there will be integration of subjects. Like if a student in 11th has taken up physics, chemistry, and bio, so along with that, he can also take up other skill-based subjects like IT or entrepreneurship skills, or if he or she also wants to learn about English or literature, or he also wants to learn about business, so a subject from that also can be incorporated. Then the students will also be taught whatever they are teaching, and whatever they are learning in the classroom, it will be connected with scientific temper, how science is related to all subjects. no silos among subjects and learning. That is, there is no restriction that if a student has taken up humanities, then he cannot take any subject from sciences. So there is a liberty for the child to take up the subject. Then emphasis on digital literacy. As you all know, we are in the 21st century, so digital literacy is very much needed. Students need to be techno savvy. They should know coding, they should know about software, and they should know about other skill subject. That's the reason digital literacy is brought in, where from grade 6 itself, coding and subjects related to IT is incorporated. Then it also promotes multilingual teaching. Like, it is said that if the child learns in mother language, so the grasping is more, and the child will understand the concept well in a better manner. And then since the concepts are understood in a better manner, the memory and the retention and also putting it into practicality is more easy. That's the reason, if the child wants to study in his mother tongue or his local language, that is also given equal importance. And it also allows, or it has also included all the 21st century skills in the classroom, and NEP encourages to not just take up one or two skills of 21st century into the classroom, but all, like digital literacy, which has coding, problem solving, day to day life problems are given, or problems in mathematics, problems in sciences are given. Students practically observe it and they come up with a solution. Communication with one and on, one to with self as well as with friends is given more importance. That is the reason we have interpersonal skills and intrapersonal skills, which also comes under the skill education. That is, this is covered under the subject IT. Then critical thinking, creativity. Students have ample of opportunities to show their creativity through various competitions held. Then health and fitness is given more importance, and you have already witnessed this and observed that each and every student of any class, they have one health and physical education period in their timetable every day. Then you will also see how students carry out their social responsibility well, like be it in a rally, be it the cleanliness drive, or be it various healthcare programs, be it the Seva project that they carry out. So all these gives them a better information on social responsibility. Ethics are also taught, like how should a person behave in public, or what are the moral values they should learn. So moral values are also given equal importance. Scientific temper and collaboration from one subject to the other, and collaboration from one student to the other is given equal importance, and hence it covers all the 21st century skills in the classroom. Apart from this, in higher grades, we have introduction of contemporary subjects like artificial intelligence, holistic health, data sciences, organic living, design thinking, machine learning. These are few of the subjects, the contemporary subject which has been incorporated. There are many more such subjects available. Now, from grade 6 to 8, it's going to be a year-long course on vocational learning. So how they are going to do it? They are not just going to be sitting here in the classroom and just write down the question answers. No, it's going to be like a hands-on experience where they'll be doing the survey. They will be going around surveying. Then they'll be collecting samplings, and they will meet the craftsmen, or they will learn about the various skills and the art related work is there, and which are more employment generating, like carpentry, electric work, metal work, gardening, pottery making, etc. And this is going to be like a bagless week or a bagless 10-day tenure, wherein the children will be meeting such people, and they will be doing a research on it, and they will be working with such people. And but it completely depends upon what the state decides, or the local communities, what is better in our area. The school maps it, and the according to the local need, the local skilling will be provided. If you see in these years, in the coming years, you will see more of importance to mathematics and computational thinking. So computational thinking doesn't mean only IT related, it can be like statistics, it can be related to data collection. So more emphasis is being given in the school years on this, wherein innovative methods of teaching mathematics, not just the students will be mugging up the tables, they will know what is prime number and what is composite number, but on the contrary, they will be studying with the use of puzzles, games, and engaging themselves with exploring what mathematics is in an enjoyable and more engaging manner. And this will also be included in the higher level, but more emphasis will be given in the middle stage. Emphasis on vocational education, as in the previous slides we discussed, will be giving, or NEP 2020 gives more emphasis on vocational education, because ultimately when the student passes out after his secondary education, he should have some vocational skill in his hand, and that's the reason they will have a 10-day bagless period during grade 6 to 8, so that they can do an internship with the local experts who are good in, or who are professionally into that field, vocational field, like the carpenters, gardeners, potters, artists, etc. And they can carry out, if they require, they can carry out that subjects in the higher classes as well. So, and that coaching will only be provided through online mode, like you can see here, and periodic exposure to activities outside the school through meeting local artists and craftsmen can be made given to them. Then vocational courses will be offered through open and distance learning mode. It won't be a complete full day school kind of a teaching learning process. If the child feels that after the 10-day program or after the 10 days internship, he has more of knowledge and he has more of interest into it, he can enroll, or he or she can enroll into the open and distance learning mode, and the course can be completed from that. And by 2025, the government of India wishes that 50% of the learners should have exposure to vocational education. Now, NEP 2020 also believes that we have a very rich culture. India has got the most richest culture in the whole world. So NEP and the government of India believes that students should learn from the rich culture of our country. That's the reason there is a collaboration between modern India and ancient India, and that's the reason the students will be doing more of research on the history and geography of the particular area. Then competitions will also be engaged. Competitions will also be included, wherein subjects through fun and indigenous games will be incorporated. Video documentaries on inspirational luminaries of India like Shivaji and all will be shown to the children, so that they are more aware about the local culture. Then students will visit different states as a part of culture exchange program. Constitutional values will be developed in students, and people from various stratas can come and speak on it. Then knowledge of critical issues facing local communities, states and country and the world will also be incorporated in economics, history, and civics. Then it gives equal importance as much as it is required for cognitive and psychomotor development. Same way, health education is also incorporated. So, a basic training in health and including preventive health will be given to the children. Mental health and well-being will be the most important factor that will be kept in mind during the schooling years. Nutrition. Uh, Teaching on nutrition will be there. They will be also taught personal and public hygiene and about first aid, detrimental and damaging effects of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. Then, leveraging the power of multilingualism and language learning, as in the previous slide and in the past few slides, we discussed that children learn better through the teaching, learning and teaching and learning through mother tongue. So children whose primary language is not in the language of instruction in school are more likely to drop out in school or fail in early grades. This is what one of the observations has come up. That's the reason maybe teaching in mother tongue or the home language or local language will also be given as the medium of instruction wherever possible, not every time, and only till grade 5. The uh, and the children will be given uh, projects in various languages of India for as fun project. If you see, we have already been giving our students, like last year and this year and last year, the students were collaborating with Orissa. The students of Maharashtra collaborated with Orissa. So our students learned many songs in Odia. Same way, they learned the culture of Odisha. Few of the classes even learned the alphabets in Odia. So that's a fun project which takes the children to know different other languages other than English and the mother language. Then it also gives equal emphasis on how the assessment has to be, because assessment has to be ongoing. It cannot be like at the end you assess the child and that is what the child is all about. No. So transforming assessments and tracking student progress across school years. So that's the reason the students will be having a formal examination in grade 3, grade 5, grade 8, grade 10, and grade 12. The complete information related to it will be given to you when it will be implemented. Right now, this is what is proposed in NEP 2020, but has yet not been implemented. Soon we will be implementing it. The report cards. The NEP says that the report cards also will be redesigned, and on that basis, if you see the latest report cards of the CBSE schools are almost, will give you almost the holistic development of the child. It also tells you the height, the weight, what is the difference in the height and the weight, then the power of the eyes and the health, the various health needed to grow, and also the overall performance of the child, be it in value education or be it in any other subject, is given. That's the reason progress in project based and inquiry based learning, so 20 marks are already allotted for that. Then this includes quizzes, role plays, group work, portfolio, etc., which comes under subject enrichment activities. Then students also go through self-assessment and peer assessment in grade 9 and 10. Then their progress is monitored not just in cognitive domain, but it is also monitored and observed, and feedback is given in the affective and psychomotor domains as well. Then interactive questionnaires and various activities are held for parents, teachers, and students, so that they are at par with the latest education system. And also at the end, the teachers are also assessed. related to the teaching qualification, that it also has got some changes, the teacher and the teacher education NEP 2020. So now if someone wants to become a teacher, so after, there are three ways how you can do it. So you need to have minimum degree qualification, and you need to do an integrated, so it's a 4 year integrated course, wherein you will have the bachelor's degree plus the B.Ed. Then you have a 2 year B.Ed, wherein after your graduation you feel like you want to pursue your B.Ed, then it takes another 2 years, and then there is a 1 year B.Ed. Suppose if you have completed your 4 years interdisciplinary bachelor's degree with B.Ed, or you already have got a master's degree, then you can do it in 1 year B.Ed as well. So NEP aims to support and nurture teachers through all phases of their tenure. So how is it done? They are prepared through B.Ed and various training programs. Then recruitment is done. Then they teach in the classroom. And once you become a teacher, it doesn't mean that your learning stops there. No, the teachers will be given professional development, and that is through trainings. So this was all about National Education Policy 2020, how it is going to be. Now, how the CBSE is taking initiative to implement it in the CBSE schools is what you will be going to see in the next slides, although many of it is already been incorporated. So there is a standard setting and accreditation for school education, that is SQAA. Which says that the student should the school should go through a school quality assessment and accreditation framework, wherein the schools assess themselves. So there are various tools which is provided by the CBSE. Based on that, the schools assess themselves and give the ratings to themselves. Then it is sent to CBSE and the process goes on. Then transforming assessment and examination. So for this, a new set of report card is generated, wherein a key stage assessment in class 3, 5 and 8 is taken up. Then a holistic report card for CBSE school is being prepared, and most of it is already been implemented. 500 competency based test items are measured. Then pilot will be done in the beginning of April, May 2021, or as and when the school reopens, because the NEP has to implement it, and how far it is being implemented, what are the pros and cons, all these will be monitored by the pilot. And then an online system is also being developed to check how far it is being fruitful. Then CBSE has set up a center for assessment. It will prepare standards linked to learning outcomes, assessment and framework. Then work initiated on the development of question bank for competency based items, like already students solve the HOTS in maths and science. In English, we have value based questions from grade 6 in major subjects. And these are already available in the Diksha app, which most of the students are already using it, and the teachers are definitely using it. So then training for paper setters and moderators is also being standardized. Then a manual on assessment as for and of learning is being prepared, which will be made useful for the teachers and the schools. Then what are the various curricular activities that is mentioned in the NEP and CBSE has already implemented in the curriculum? So we have art and sports integrated education. Then principals work as pedagogical leaders, and preparation of annual pedagogical plan is being already being implemented. Then implementation of experiential learning pedagogies like art, sports integrated, and storytelling and gaming. The competitions are held at regular intervals and the students are taking part in it. Then mathematics and Hindi at two levels. If you see, mathematics has got and Hindi has got like Hindi A and B. Then mathematics standard and basic. Same way, English and Sanskrit will also be introduced at two levels if the students require in the year 2021-22. Then 9 vocational courses has been introduced for a 12-hour duration from grade 6 to the 8 in the year 2020. CBSE also ensures that competency-based education is being implemented in the school. Therefore, a mandatory adoption of learning outcomes by the CBSE school is needed, for wherein each teacher specifies what is the learning outcome of a particular topic or a particular chapter is. Creative and critical thinking practice tests, informal assessments through student enrichment activities, that is subject enrichment activities, and introduction of case-based and question paper design. Already case-based questions are introduced in grade 10 and 9, and the questions are asked in that manner. Then mandatory online training on experiential learning and competency-based education, and development of resource material and handbooks like for teachers, for parents, and for principals are already in. Then there are various student enrichment activities like students participate in the Aryabhat Ganit Challenge, Heritage India Quiz, EBSB activities, CBSE Science Challenge, various science exhibitions, Khelo India Expression Series, and Reading Challenge. And we also believe, and CBSE believes, and the school also believes, that it is very much mandatory to involve the parents and the community for the positive learning environment. That's the reason informal meetings and also how we can interact with the parents through various community exchange programs are done. Then we inform the parents about the expected learning outcome. We inform the parents about the portfolio and home assignments. Then, parents of children with physical and learning disabilities, first generation learners, they are sensitized like how we should tackle them. Then make home visits, and if possible and necessary. Then workshops and parenting guidelines are also given during the exam time and for exam related anxieties and to remove the stress. Then engage with parents to deal with substance abuse, sexual orientation, and other adolescence issues. Then we send constantly information about the activities that is being held in the school and also the child's progress through PTMs, and parents come and see the progress of the child. The portfolios are also sent back to the children to see what are the best works of the students, and also in the PTMs it is visible. Exposure to various lectures, and we also organize specific events for parents. So this is how we engage the parents and the community for a better learning environment. And this was all about NEP 2020 and how is it being implemented in the school curriculum in the CBSE schools and in our school. So I hope you all have understood this. Now, after watching this video, I would request you all to click on the link of a quiz, a form, a Google form is sent to you. So kindly click on that and fill the form and send to us so that if there is any query, we can sort it out. So happy learning. Thank you. Have a good day.